it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to Christmas Central 2016. Now, I promised big things going into this Christmas season, and hopefully I've delivered. I personally think I have, as Christmas Central 2016 is my most ambitious effort ever. I don't want to say everything in this room is lit, but pretty close to everything is lit, or somehow, just really Christmased up to the extreme. I revealed the Christmas logo earlier in this month, and I mentioned how it's going to kind of go with Christmas Central. Hopefully that's more evident now, the red and green and just all the craziness of Christmas Central. I actually had to turn off the Penguins thing because it was just too loud to talk over, but there's a lot going on here. Christmas Central, more than just lights this year, more than just any one factor, it's loud. It's loud, it's alive, it's electric. It's pretty much what I've been gunning for every year for Christmas Central, and this year I just took it to another level. Every year since the beginning, and actually this is kind of funny, I'll get to this in a second, every year since the beginning of Christmas Central's inception, I've tried to add something, maybe a few more lights, maybe a few more ornaments, maybe different places in the room getting the Christmas treatment. But this year, I think, had the biggest leap from year to year. And Christmas Central last year was really impressive as well, but this year just added so much. The penguin race game, the new swinging carousel that I started the video with, some of the lights are, retreads, but other ones are brand new for this year, literally just brand new. And, just a lot going on here. The shelf lighting I'm extremely proud of. The red and green really brings this thing to life. And the projection lights from last year return, as you saw in the beginning, and they really give an atmosphere to this room. Now, going into this Christmas Central, I was going for Christmas Central 2012, which was a very nice look. And I kind of liked the way that room glowed. It kind of glowed a bright red. Well, this room glows like 3 different colors. Like, this room has green, hints of red, hints of white. I mean, just all over the place. Even with all the lights out around, it is bright as can be in this room because of the Christmas tree, because of the Christmas shelving, because of the windowsill behind the camera, because of just all the lights along the walls, of the ceilings. This room, and again, this isn't like a huge room, but I mean, it is extremely well lit in here, even by my standards. And just all the motion going on, like I mentioned, the penguin racers going around the track, the ski mountain with the motion there, the swinging carousel ride, which also plays music, by the way, although it's a little campy. What the heck? Like I said, it's really campy. It's like music box quality. But, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. The windmill on the windowsill also adding to that whole motion dynamic. But even more so... Okay, I gotta shut that off. It's kind of... Even more so, Christmas Central Express might be one of the biggest additions for this year. And I've wanted to have a train in Christmas Central for a long time. I've kind of toyed around with the idea of like a small train that would go along the bottom shelf of the Christmas Village. I thought about getting a bigger train for under the tree. Space constraints being what they are, I don't even know how I got this thing in here. It's pretty decent train, and it goes around the tree at a pretty rapid speed. Kind of scares my cat away. But, yeah, no, and then of course, how could I forget, the Christmas tree itself. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, every year I try to add something to Christmas Central, and I find it funny. And first of all, let me just say this personally, whenever I do a new Christmas Central, for whatever reason, I purposely don't look at the old ones, because I don't want any references. I want every year to be kind of a brand new, built from the ground up experience, which obviously, when you're recycling a lot of the same Christmas decorations, it's not going to be that original every year. But I don't want to look at, Christmas Central 2014 and just try to copy that, or even Christmas Central 2012. I mean, I have memories of those setups, but I'm not, looking to make a one-to-one recreation, which is why it's so interesting when I do look back at them and I see that I put everything in different spaces every year, even though it's similar stuff. But Christmas Central 2009 and 2010, to look back at them now, they were really nothing to look at, but in the video, I'm like, this is my biggest Christmas setup ever, and I've got like 1 string of Christmas lights on the wall, and now to look at this, and look at how far I've come in, 7 years, it's incredible, it really is. This room, I think, really captures that excitement of Christmas, but I'm not going to spend all the time in the video here. So I figured I would get a little FaceTime right here in front of my own creation, because why not? I made it, I'm going to show it off. And the, of course, most notable addition to the actual shelving this year, which is not really in this shot, but it was in the beginning, are these green and red the shelf lights underneath, and they're like micro dew lights that I wired underneath every shelf. And I'll be honest with you, the green is incredibly overpowering, but I mean, I don't mind. But I mean, the first time I turned the green lights on in the dark, just to see what they would look like, the room was like, looked like it was radioactive. I mean, it was that bright. And I was blown away by that. Now, the red lights, to me, maybe just because the green is so overbearing, the red lights don't do as much for me. Underneath the shelving, there's like a little bit of a red glow, but for the most part, the green really takes over. But, I mean, red is actually my favorite Christmas color. I like green a lot too, but red, something about red, it's like, it's very passionate, very powerful, very striking color, and even though the Christmas tree is green and a lot of other stuff is green, I really loved red even as a kid. I really loved kind of that, I don't know, I'm just rambling on now, but the green is fantastic, it really is, and the way that it kind of plays off the other lights, and of course you have the swirling lights from the swinging carousel, and from the ski mountain, but that's not all the lights in this room, oh no. We also have this windowsill lighting here, which I don't know how well that's going to show up on the shot. There is literally no room for me to even film this. It's so tight in this corner, but yeah, like I said, I paid attention to like every little detail I could in this room, even if it's not in the most visible location. The windowsill in the far corner of the room, which is usually just kind of there, I usually put like one or two things on it. This year, I went all out with the fake snow, big, thick snow blanket, and underneath, and this was kind of an accident, or a happy accident, I should say, I have these lights from Christmas 2012, these kind of really bright wireless lights underneath to kind of give this illusion of like magic or something underneath the snow. Again, stop me if you've heard that one before, but no, this is incredible. I really like this part of Christmas Central too. It's a bit underrated, as are these projection lights on the floor. They really do a great job just adding an atmosphere to this room. I kind of wish I bought more of them, but altogether, this room is just amazing. And like I said, I don't know how well you can really see it in the shot, but the windowsill lights are really kind of highlighting the back side of this room. Pretty much every area of this room is accented in one way or another. And of course, there's the piano, which is an area that I usually neglect when I talk about Christmas Central, but it's still a very important part of the Christmas setup because you have the nativity scene. And also, in addition to some other knickknacks, you have the grid of memories, or the Holiday Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it. I've been doing this since 2012, and recently, last year, I added a few more memories. I don't want to add memories every single year because, as much as I love Christmas, there are only, certain Christmases make this list, or this kind of memory mosaic, so to speak. And there are some really great ones here, of course, 1999, 2009, just the greatest Christmases of all time, and 2012 even made the list as of last year. So again, another really awesome part of the holidays, not just setting up the new Christmas Central, but remembering old Christmases and just some of the memories that they provided. Also on this side of the room, there are some great Christmas lights that I have them to blink, I have them steady, flashing, whatever. There's a lot of different effects with the Christmas lights, but you could say that for pretty much the entire room. There's a ton going on here. So yeah, there you have it, Christmas Central 2016, and I want to talk a little bit about kind of the process of setting all this up. Now, I started this probably earlier than I've ever started the Christmas Central. I don't have the official numbers on that, but I do know for a fact this is the earliest I set up the Christmas tree, which was, I started this on November 12th. I think the previous record was like November 14th, so I started this pretty quickly and I was pretty organized with it as soon as Halloween ended. And a lot of people ask why I do that. Well, even with starting, October 30th or whenever I started, even starting that early, I didn't get this up till like November 22nd, 23rd, which doesn't seem like that big a deal, but that's still 20 days. And in a Christmas season where, it's only maybe 30 or 40 days long, that's a big chunk of time. Now that Thanksgiving's over and Christmas season's in full swing, I'm just happy. I mean, I'm always happy about Christmas, but I'm just happy to be able to kick back, relax, enjoy the tree, enjoy everything here. And I really haven't talked much about the tree other than the fact that it's here. The tree is really breathtaking. And I kind of feel that way about any Christmas tree. I've had some, frankly, lousy Christmas trees when I was a kid, and I even loved those. This is a really nice Christmas tree, but every Christmas tree I look at, I get kind of just taken aback by like how beautiful it is and just kind of what it represents. And this one is no exception. This is the centerpiece of Christmas Central. No matter how many tacky things I do over here, the Christmas tree will always be the big focus of Christmas. And, I mean, that's just how it's always been. Now, setting all this up, you would think it would be really labor-intensive, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I thought of ideas, leading up to it, and then some ideas kind of came about on the fly, like the windowsill lighting and some other stuff. I just kind of said, oh, that's not a bad idea. Putting the projection lights on the floor. I really didn't know what I was going to do with those. I wanted to use them because they were really gorgeous last year, and they're really doing the trick this year. But, leading up to this setup, I really had no plan for the projection lights, and now they're on the floor, but they're really tucked away neatly, and they really do illuminate the whole room. The penguins thing was kind of a last-minute decision. I wanted some kind of just fun thing. Because in case you can't tell, this Christmas is all about just ridiculous amounts of fun. Not to say other Christmases haven't been fun, but as I mentioned, I was going for more of a childlike wonder type of setup this year, as opposed to the more Starry Night, antique sort of setup I've been going for in years past. And there's really no wrong way to do it. But, Christmas 2016, I've kind of made it known from before the beginning that this was going to be kind of a spiritual successor to Christmas 2012, which was just kind of a fun, free-loving, whatever you want to call it, just incredible Christmas free-for-all. That's what I was thinking of. It was incredible free-for-all. I'm not good with words sometimes. But, yeah, this is Christmas Central 2016. I love it. I hope you guys love it. And I will talk to you again soon. This is not the last time we'll see Christmas Central. In fact, I have a video from before it was finished where I'm putting ornaments on the tree. It's not to really over-promote that one. It's a decent video, but I digress. There's a ton going on in the room, as you can see, and we will be seeing it again in future videos. But until then, hope you all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, as we head toward the biggest holiday of the year, Christmas 2016. Here we go.